Alright everybody, so last time when we were playing around, we made this guy right here that's an AI enemy that just kind of runs around randomly. And what I thought would be helpful for us this time around is just making something that's a little more usable. So one thing we need to do is find a mesh that will actually work for us. So to do that, I think one of the best things to do is either go out to something like Fab and look around a little bit. But truthfully, in looking around, I didn't find a free zombie that I liked. Even after finding one with some other folks that looked pretty promising, I just wasn't really happy with it once I pulled it in and messed with it a little bit. So the fallback for most folks, whenever they do this kind of work, is that they'll go to Mixamo. Okay, so Mixamo is right here, and this little zombie dude I was thinking about picking up. Mixamo is free for you. We all have Amazon accounts, so just use your, I'm sorry, not Amazon, Adobe accounts. So we all have Adobe accounts that we can use for this, and this is an Adobe product. And once you sign in, you can use all of these things for free. There's a ton of characters in here to use. And if you didn't like the little kind of goofy guy that we have here, we could always pick something else. But his name's, Desbians. Oh, Desbians. Yeah, I'm guessing. So I think if you probably would have to have his whole name. But if you want to go something a little darker, they do have some other things in here that might be pretty creepy. Like this guy right here. He's a pretty good little enemy character, but I think for what we're doing, we might be going a little more this side. Yeah, he is going to have a little heel in his head all the time, unfortunately, but you know, that's okay for this, what we're wanting to do right now. It's just getting something working. So once we find something we like, then we're going to go back over to animations, and there actually is a large number of animations you can get. These are packages right here that are already set up, but we really don't need that many. So I thought I'd just grab this zombie punching right here just for later on, but the other ones we're going to need are a zombie idol. There's this one right here, which I don't really think is, I mean, that's actually pretty good. I kind of like that. He's looking around all crazy. There is another one that I thought was pretty good where he's scratching himself, which I thought was kind of funny, but this one looks pretty good. He's kind of freaking out and I like it. So when we get the character that we like and we like the animation that we like, we're going to go to download right here. And in this case, we're going to leave it as FBX. That's totally cool. 30 frames per second, exactly what we'd like to have. Without skin, we'll do that when we just get the other animations we want later on. But initially, if we like this character, we want to use this character in our game, we want to download it with skin. So I'm going to go ahead and hit download. And once this is done, I can actually tell it where I want it to go. So what I want to do is I'm going to go over here to my content folder, and I'm going to make a new folder here. Now I had one called zombie, and this was me just testing some things out real quick, but I'm just going to call it Zomboofy. He's kind of goofy. Yeah, we'll try that. We'll just put that in there. All right, and we'll put the zombie idol in there. We'll also end up with the other stuff. So that's how to get the initial mesh plus an animation. Then if you want to get just animations, another one that we need is walk. So we'll grab a walk, and that's a pretty good one. I like this one. He's dragging his, it's a little slow. These are all about the same though. So I think, let's see, how does he look with this one? Yeah, his hands are really huge, so he's going to be kind of crazy no matter what we do. This one looks very similar too. I think we'll just go with this one. We'll get that one. So this time what I want to do is, first off, he's moving. You'll notice he's moving across the floor. And when you find an animation like this, we want to check this little box down here that says in place, and that'll make sure that it starts running in place so we don't have any other kind of animation added on top of it. So the animation actually would push him forward instead of just moving forward when we say we want him to move forward. So go to download, FBX is still fine. This time we're going to do it without skin, and everything else is fine. So we'll go ahead and download that. It's going to ask us where we want this to go, and we're just going to keep it in the same place. Okay. And I'll get the zombie punch too, since we're at that. Let's see, we got this one. But I like more of that swipe. There we go. Same thing with this one. Don't want any skin. Everything else is fine. Okay. Now, one nice thing about Mixamo is it is kind of set up to work with Unreal Engine. So we only have to do some minor work to get this to work inside of here. We're going to see a little import message that shows up like right here. And I'm going to go ahead and import that. Everything on here is really fine. I wouldn't worry too much about these things that we're pulling in from Mixamo, because for the most part, everything we get from them is ready to go. We don't have to do a whole lot with it. Okay. And then what we want to do is, now that we have everything, let's go ahead and make sure we have all of our stuff. I want to get rid of this, see if I can get rid of this old one here, because I really don't want to keep it around. Will it go away? Let's see. It's still there. It's fine. We're going to work in this one anyway. So you'll notice there's some materials in here. We have a few walking animations. At this point, if you tried to run them, they may not quite work the way you want them to. Let me go ahead, and this guy opened up in another space. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's actually looking pretty good. And if we called these as is, we might be able to use them. Let me, let's just start building this guy up real quick. And before we do that, I'm going to just put this into a new folder. And this is going to be animations, and let's just say animations. Yeah, that'll be enough. And then we can go in there for any other 3D pieces we want to use. Okay, there's some move here, and let's take all the materials and textures. We're going to put those into another folder. Let's just call it materials. Okay. Now, obviously, there are some textures in here, but we're going to keep them all together. This is going to be a little bit easier to keep everything straight. So then I want to right click in this space, and we're going to go to blueprint class, and we're going to make a character. This one's going to be AI underscore, let's call it zombie. Yeah, let's see. Okay, it didn't seem to keep that. Let me fix that up. Oh, I guess it's fine. It just didn't read. Okay, that's fine. It's just not showing everything there. Let's go into it. Okay, and once we're in here, what I want to do is I'm going to drag these in. Whoop, there we go. There we are. Okay, so the mesh, what we want to use is that zombie that we just brought in. Now, since this is using its own animations, we may not need to target it with the Unreal Engine skeleton. But if you want to use any of the Unreal Engine animations, like if you come across some of those, then you'll want to retarget the skeleton so it can use those animations as well. All right, so let's go in here and grab the zombie. There he is, zombie idle. We're going to set him down. Now he's pretty big, so we want to go ahead and scale him down a little bit. You notice he's bigger than the capsule there, so we'll want to kind of line him up with the arrow that's popping out there, and then we'll scale him down. So let's go ahead and grab right about here. Actually, we could just go up to the scale right here. And oh, we don't have a lock on it, so that's going to make it a little bit easy, more difficult. Okay, I'm just going to pull this down. There we go. And that looks pretty good. He's like really leaning forward there, so we'll have to kind of split the difference here with the capsule. All right, looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and throw an animation on here. Use animation assets, what we're going to do right here in the animation section. And let's see what he looks like walking. Okay, he's a little slow. We can fix that. We can fix that inside the blueprint. So let's go into the blueprint here. And what we'll need to do is, well, first off, we could actually borrow some code from another let me go ahead and get rid of that from the AI enemy that we had. Let's see, user made, here's the AI enemy. We already had the random run around kind of stuff right there. So I'm just going to copy that. There we go. Highlight it, Control C, and then I'm going to go over to here to the AI zombie, pull back a little bit. I'm going to move these over. There we go. And just kind of click where you want these things to land. It's going to say like, hey, there's an issue here with random location because it's a custom event from what we did before. And if you compile it, it is going to have a problem. The way you fix this pretty quickly is just to right click on it, refresh the node, refresh this node, and yep, there's one more here. So we just refresh that one too, just for fun, and compile, and everything should be good. All right, so the way this one's working, since he's already walking, it shouldn't be an issue. But I think one thing we might want to do is speed it up a little bit. So to do that, what you got to do is we'll click on the mesh itself. We're going to grab a reference to that, pull in to a set play rate animation right there. And I would bet about 5 might be pretty good for that. So let's just kind of see how they're doing as they're walking around. Or, whoops, same guy. I didn't put him in space yet. I'm silly. All right, in fact, I'm going to get rid of the old enemy. And let's bring in our zombie. Okay, there's one there. And just for fun, let's bring that over. Okay, and let's see how they do. Oh, they're moving pretty quick. Oh, they're moving way too fast. Okay, so we got to slow them down. All right, so we'll go in here to our character movement. Max walk speed is our speed for this. Oh yeah, way too fast. So we're going to set it to about 125. Okay, this other one here is the crouch walk speed, so I'm not as worried about that one. There we go. And for some reason I am missing a lot of the extra stuff that's on here. I'm going to just compile this real quick, save everything, and then I'm going to set this for default real quick, just so everything will kind of come back to the way it was. There we go. Well, hopefully you understand where we're going here with these, but yeah, I do seem to be missing some pieces on the edges. That's okay. All right, they are moving at 125 now. Let's go ahead and see how they're doing. Hit play. Okay, let me stop that really fast. I don't need this, but I do want to be on the map there. Okay, cool. Let me hit play now. That looks a little better. That's play rate of the animation that we set looks a little better with their walking animation. So kind of jiggly, but I kind of adds a little bit to how goofy they are. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we want to be able to make this character move around pursuing our player, and then we want them to, if they lose sight of the player, then they'll stop, think for a second, and then they'll move on again. Okay, so to do that, we're going to add in pawn sensing here. We're going to do that right there. Pawn sensing allows us to see, this is where this gets a little bit hectic right here. Is that going to let us have what we want? No. I'm just going to hit Control Z. There we go. Nah, I don't really need all that. However, my details panel is not everything I would hope it could be right now, because I am missing some information here. Let me go ahead and show me. Let's see, show sections. Okay. And I want to expand all categories. Sure. Show the advanced details. Yeah, it's not giving me everything I need here. Like, this isn't showing up crazily enough. Let me try the view here. Nope. All right, well, this is just not as ideal as I would hope to have it be. Okay, well, that's all right. well, anyway, you can kind of compare what I have here to what you have, and shouldn't be too difficult to kind of put it into place. Oh, there it is right there. Somehow I brought that over. Hey, something for you to learn by too. All right. I'm silly, and you can learn from that as well. All right, so next thing we want to do is we want to build the pawn sensing aspect of this whole thing. So we have pawn sensing in here now. Did we do that? No, we didn't. Okay, let me go ahead and add that in. Pawn sensing. I got rid of it. I think I did Control Z, and I was trying to get out of where I was at. So if we go back over here, I kind of showed you this on the last video. This is the sensory package for our character right now, and if you notice this big green thing right here, that's where it can see, like it can see all the way out to that edge, and I don't think we want it to be that big. You can always kind of close it in if you want to, like this with the peripheral vision, and that'll make it look mostly forward. I don't find that's always the best thing in the world. You kind of want to have it spread out a little bit more so they can see from the sides. Otherwise, you'll be able to sneak up on every NPC you have, which, you know, maybe that's what you want, but it's not really my thing. So we'll go ahead and pull this back a little bit. And all this is doing is it's not necessarily shrinking the distance. It's just shrinking the area that it's going to check for, mostly on the sides. Like if I was standing out here in front of this character, past this cone, it would still see me. It would still be able to pursue me if I was that far away. But it has to be able to like not look through stuff and be able to see me. Surprisingly enough, it will look through like smaller models, like something with a car or something like that, because I think it actually uses the nav mesh on the ground that we set up with the previous video to locate other targets in the area. So I think that might be true, because even going up on a higher level, as long as the nav mesh is up there, they're able to still locate that person. So we kind of have that set up the way we like it, and we're going to start working with pawn sensing. Now with that highlighted over here on the right side, you're able to see that we have a few events now. We're going to use this one called on-see pawn. Okay, and what this does is it allows us to trigger whenever the pawn is seen, or whenever the character sees something. Whenever the zombie sees something, we'll be able to go after it. So one of the first things we want to do is do an AI move to. Okay, and what we'll need from here is the pawn that we're talking about is the pawn itself. It's the NPC itself. So we're going to get a reference to self. There we go. And then as far as destination goes, we'll pull off of this, get actor. Let's see, let's just do location. There we go. That'll make it a little easier. You just tie that right into here, and then it'll know which target actor it's going after. So you can just connect that up, and we're in pretty good shape right there. After this, then we're going to do retriggerable delay. What that's going to do for us is whenever it finds the character, if this keeps getting hit over and over again, like it's seeing him, it's seeing the character over and over again, then it's going to retrigger this delay. So what we want to do is give them the option to chase after the player for about 5 seconds. And then if he doesn't find him, then it'll finish this delay. Like it won't keep re-triggering this during that 5 second time. And then what we'll do is we'll have it play a new animation. I got to spell animation right. Okay, play animation. There we go. And this one, we're going to use the idle. Okay. Oh, I think my Unreal Engine has frozen just for a second. Yes, it doesn't just happen to y'all. There we go. There's a zombie idle animation. We're going to go ahead and loop that. And we're going to have him stand there like kind of dumbfounded, like, where did he go? For, you know, just a tiny little bit of time. So that would probably be maybe, let's say a delay of maybe 3 seconds. So instead of doing 0.2 or anything like that, we'd have 3 instead. So it'll sit there idle for about 3 seconds. And then we'll do move to random location. Okay, and I know we're going to have a few issues as we go into this. I just want to tell you that ahead of time, mostly with the animation, but for the most part, this should have him following our character, and then once they're gone, then it should go back up here and move randomly. So let me go ahead and just try that out. We got 2 zombies right now. Let's see how we do. Okay, let's see, is he following me? Yes, he is. He is definitely following me. Good. Now if I go over here, I go behind this thing, 3, 4, 5. That should be about it right there. Now he's still moving, but we did change the animation and everything. So he does seem to still be following me a little bit here. Let me see if I drop down here. Yeah, he's still coming after me. So we have a couple different things we need to fix, but it is going to that idle animation. 3, 4, 5. It's not returning to the move random. So, oh, there he goes. Yep. Now he flipped. So one thing we're going to need to do, as soon as we go through this one and we play that animation, we have that delay and everything where he's idle. We got to change his speed to 0. And we don't want him to be able to move anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the character movement and drag off of that. Set max. Whoops, not cert. Set max walk speed. Okay. And from here, go into there, and we're going to set that max walk speed to 0. Now, once we get after the delay, we're going to need to set it back. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to move. So let's go back up here, and if we want to, we could go in and grab this. We're just going to do a Control D for a duplicate. And we're going to shove it in here. Okay, and the walk speed's going to go back to 125. Okay, so let's see how that goes for us. Okay, so they're walking around. Okay, he's following me. There we go. Little goofy dude. All right, let's see if we can get the other guy to follow us too. There we go. I think he's following us. Yep, looks good. So now all I got to do is lose him for about 5 seconds. So I think they can still see me. Start counting about now. 3, 4, 5. Okay, there they went to idle. Good. They're looking around. Nice. Still moving a little bit. Oh, I think it's might be trying to do a random. That it is. It's trying to do random because he's not going for me. They're just moving around randomly. But it didn't switch to the other animation. So I wonder, maybe he's coming after me. Let me see. Oh, he's definitely coming after me now because he saw me. Okay, so it's not switching the animation back. So once we do that, we come back to here for move to random location. We need to play the walk animation again. So what I'm going to do is grab the mesh, grab that, and set animation just like we did. Let's see, what are we doing on here? My brain's off top. Play animation, not set animation, play animation. There we go. Yeah, we can do play animation from here. Okay, mesh, give me another reference right there. Okay, so we have our mesh, and we want this to loop, and we're going to do walk again. That's going to be the one for our zombie. So where's our zombie? Let me do zombie there. Okay, let me go back to my viewport here, and we're going to go to the mesh. And what is it called? Just says walking. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I couldn't quite see which one that was. So walking. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Another issue is that I can see coming up with this is that the play rate might need to get reset again here, but let's just kind of see. Right here we set it at 5. I don't think we've reset it after that, but we might have to redo it. Let's go ahead and just see how he's doing. Hit play. Okay. Okay, they didn't see me right away, so that's good. Okay, he's going extra slow there. So Let's see if he's tracking. He's tracking. Yeah, he is. Okay. So I think he should probably go a little faster, in fact. So let's do a couple things here to just kind of housekeeping stuff. Play animation, then we're going to do set play rate again. I'm going to do Control D to duplicate that, bring it on over. Whoop, going really fast. Okay. And we'll tie that into here. This will go into max walk speed, which should go back to 125. And then we could make it go faster right in here if we wanted to. In fact, I think I do. So I'm going to just kind of pull this over a little bit. And what I want to do is take this, Control D, and drag it over here, connect it up, and I want this guy to go like, it's at 125, so I want to step it up to 200. I think we'll be able to see the difference. So let's go ahead and try it out. Okay, here he comes. He's coming after me. Okay, cool. All right. And then I'm just going to go behind here. 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's idle. Okay, good. I don't want him to see me. But it looks like he went back to normal. And let's see if he randomly changes his direction here in just a second. Okay, he did. Good. And he's not coming up here to get me. Otherwise, he'd turn around right now. Cool. Yeah, he's just doing random moves now. Okay, good. Let's try and get him again. Okay, he should be following me. There we go. Good. That'd be a good idea just for your players to, you know, once the zombie or the enemy finds them, they probably want to have something to let the players know, like, hey, they did see you. You know, like maybe it roars, you know, I could have it go through a little animation. Now, typically for most AI, now he's not going to jump off because that's something you have to set up in the map, but sometimes they'll do it like on their own. Okay, there we go. The more complicated you want your AI to be, whoop, there he's turned around and saw me right away, then you have to use different tools. For what we're doing right now, this is very, very simple, and we're setting the animations inside the blueprints. And typically you don't necessarily do that. You would set up an animation blueprint, which is something we can do a little bit later. But for basic gameplay, for having multiple zombies in the space, this is a good way to start right here. And this will take care of most things. The only other thing you might need to put in here is another custom event to make them swipe at your player. But we can take care of that at a later time. All right. So this should take care of setting up your zombie or your enemy AI that's going to be chasing after your player. And then when it can't find them, they just kind of go back to wandering around with a little bit of an idle state in here in between, just so they have a little time to look like they don't know what they're doing. All right. Well, hopefully that helps you out. And we will keep moving on with this AI bit a little bit more. And this also helps you bring in new meshes and also other animations from different places. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit more. We'll get another part here pretty soon.